Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. Well, this is election day. So get out and vote. Vote informed, but get out and vote. A lot of people say, well, I'm feeling good about myself. I voted. But it's not just about voting. It's about voting informed. So get out there and vote, because that's what I plan on doing. The day of the Lord should say the same. We get out there and vote. What I want to talk about today is something that's really bothering me. And that is Shock Jock Howard Stern said some very derogatory things about Hershall Walker, whom we all know is running for the Senate seat against Warnock, who is a pastor. Democrat. Warnock is a Democrat. Hershall Walker is a Republican. And he's running against Warnock. But Shock Jock Howard Stern has said some things that are extremely derogatory, the way I see it. And I know he's a shock jock, but when you listen to what he has to say, you're going to be like, wait a minute. Is it okay for this person to say this? We're going to get into the details, and I'm going to read the portion of this article, and I'm going to see if I'm going to let you guys listen in on the audio clip that I have of him. So hopefully you'll be able to hear this. But let's get right into this. This is just absolutely insane the way I see it. You people can say anything they want to say and get away with it. It means nothing. But the article starts off this way. Radio shock jock Howard Stern turned up the temperature this week when he openly hinted at a second civil war if Republican Hershall Walker claims the U.S. Senate seat in Georgia. Leading into Tuesday, most polls and predictions have pegged Walker as the winner against Democrat Raphael Warnock, news that did not sit well with the notorious conservative hater Howard Stern, according to what this article is saying here. And it says here's supposedly what Howard Stern said, right? Hershall Walker, holy F. They're saying he's going to win in Georgia. Are you effing dummies? They always talk about another civil war. Well, I think there's going to be one. I mean, how the F could you elect that guy? You got to be out of your effing skull. So listen, let me let you guys listen in on what he actually said. So hold on one second. Check this out. Well, before I do that, let me read this part here. Check this out. It says, Howard Stern's co-host, Robin Quivers, wholeheartedly agreed as he proceeded to claim Hershall Walker was lower than, quote, a mental case. Now, from what I understand, Robin Quivers, I think she's as a female, and I think she's African-American, black woman, right? Now, in the past, I never watched Howard Stern or everything like that. I never really watched him. So I don't need to watch his shows to criticize what he's saying. This video is a critique of what he is saying, not his radio show. It's not about that. So please don't put in the comments, well, you need to do research on his show to find out what kind of. No, look, he's clearly, from what he's saying, he's not a conservative. He's bashing Hershall Walker. That's what I want to criticize. So, having said that, this woman, I remember years ago when I did watch a segment of his show. I believe the person, Robin Quivers, is an African-American female. Now, killing part about this, and you all know I'm going with this. Here's a white man saying some derogatory things about Hershall Walker, who's a black man. And here's a black woman on the show, according to this article, wholeheartedly agreeing with him. It's okay if it's on the left, but let it be anything remotely like that on the right and get out the atom bombs. But let me let you guys listen in on his words here, on our audio clip for yourself. So check this out here.
Everyone's just feeling really empowered to say whatever dumb fucking thing is on their brain, and then they go, oh, come on, man, give me come on. Free speech. Yeah. Heil Hitler. Now let's move on. Heil Hitler. Hitler threw the Jews in the others. Leave me alone. I just want to say things like that. I want to say what I have to say. Everyone's full of ideas, all dummy. Some of these candidates that people are actually fucking Hershall Walker. Holy fuck, they're saying he's gonna win in Georgia. Are you fucking dummies? There's gonna be, you know, and they always talk about another civil war. Well, I think there is gonna be one. I mean, how the fuck could you elect that guy? You gotta be out of your fucking skull. I'm gonna give you a game right now. Here's a game, Robin. We'll see how good you are. I'm gonna say Hershall Walker or Whack Packer. You tell me who said it. I gotta say, I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I don't care what party, what you believe, what you think would be good for America. Would you really vote for this fucking? I don't know what the fuck he is. I was gonna say like mental case. But I don't even know if that's fair.
You was gonna say the N word. That was what you gonna say.
I just don't know.
That was you gonna say.
All right, you're saying he's gonna win. All right, well, good.
You heard that, right? I hope you guys were able to hear that. Now, somebody may argue, well, he's a shock jock. That's what shock jocks do, because, which is true. Like I said, years ago, and I say years ago, I think this is back like in like the early 2000s or the 90s or late 90s, early 2000s. Howard Stern supposedly made a statement about black women. He said, called them nappy head H's. And there was a lot of controversy about it, but he never got taken off this. So if he said these words, calling black women or certain segments of black women nappy H's, you know, and he actually said that. If he actually said that, he got away with it. It shows you the state of mind of, and the way I see it, of a lot of black people. Because as long as this person is a Democrat or supports the Democrats or supports liberal worldviews, he can say whatever he want to say. It doesn't matter. This just infuriates me, but it's like baffling to me how messed up people's heads is, man. I want to say, and like I said in the video, Howard Stern sounded like he wanted to call the man the N-word. I just don't know what to want to call. Yeah, I know what you probably wanted to say. You probably wanted to say, use the N-word like supposedly you said about those black women, calling them nappy headed HOES, however way you want to spell. That's what he supposedly said. So you probably wanted to say the same thing about Hershall Walker here, using the N-word. I'm just saying. Now, am I saying Howard Stern is racist? I don't know. No, I can't. It's a shock. He's a shock jock. He says shocking things. It's supposed to shock you, right? You know, but still though, you can shock people in other ways, man. You don't got to shock them like that. But it's amazing to me how people like this on the left can get away. White people like this on the left can get away with these type of things, and it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay. You know, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy, and we put up with it. We tolerate with it. Masses of black people tolerate it. They don't think the first about it. And what's crazy about it here, it's another thing where he says everyone is feeling really empowered to say whatever dumb effing things is on their brain, and then they go, oh come on, give me a break. Hell Hitler. Now let's move on. Hell Hitler. Hitler threw the Jews in the ovens. Leave me alone. I just want to say things like that. I just want to say what I have to say. What the heck is he talking about? Hell Hitler. What does that got to do with anything? Is he referring to conservatives as being fascists? What is he talking about? What the heck is he talking about? He's the one ranting. He's not even giving any logical concept here. Nothing to it whatsoever. When are black people going to wake up to stuff like this, man? The article goes and say whether or not, and the crazy part about him talking about this might lead to a civil war. That's crazy to me, because if it do lead to a civil war, if Hershall Walker gets in the Senate and there's a civil war, in my opinion, you know who's going to initiate the civil war? The radical left. The radical left. The radical left. Not talking about the regulars, but the radical left is going to initiate if there is a civil war. And come on. I'm going to finish the article with this. Whether or not it leads to the second civil war, a recent poll showed Walker leads Warnock 48.9% to 46.5%, while Libertarian candidate Chase Oliver trails far behind with just 4.6% of support. Wow. I don't even know who that person is. Leading up to Tuesday, Walker's closing message has been attacking Raphael Warnock for his extremist stance on energy. When you have a president talking about the biggest threat to democracy, it seems to be electing a Republican, Walker told Fox News on Sunday. Let me say something real quick before I go any further. Why do these politicians keep using this word democracy? This is not a democracy, folks. Whether you're on the left or right, it's not a democracy. It's a republic. It's a republic. The founders of America were trying to get away from that. Okay? A democracy is the direct rule of the people. America is not directly ruled by the people because we would have a mob. We would have mob rule. But I ain't going to go into that. I digress. Let's go on. But he goes on to say, but I want everyone that is listening to me, the biggest threat to democracy is to have him at the White House. And the biggest threat to democracy is to have someone like Senator Warnock that voted against our Keystone Pipeline, which put us in an international threat. And that's the end of the article there. And I agree with that. I won't say it put us in an international threat, but I will definitely say that voting against that did cause problems. Voting against the Keystone Pipeline did cause some major problems with America. How expansive that was, I'm not going to even speak on that. But it did cause some major problems with us. And Trump was in support of it. He was trying to, support it. Biden got in office and completely destroyed it. So, but I just wanted to say that about that. What bothers me is the fact that you have a white person saying these type of things about a black man, okay, and saying some horrible things. Are you effing dummies? Are you effing kidding me? And okay, like I said, he's a shock jock. He says things that are shocking. I get it. But come on, man. It's perfectly okay for someone like that to say what they can say about another black person. It's perfectly okay. But let someone on the right say anything remotely similar to that, and they're going to get symbolically lynched. Now, you tell me, is that fair? You tell me that's okay. Please help me to understand whether or not that's okay, because clearly from what I'm reading, and if this article is accurate, and I believe it's sufficiently accurate, then that's a bunch of bull crap. That's a bunch of bull crap, man. Come on. That's emotionalism, the way I see it, designed to appeal to a certain segment of black people so that they can vote for the same people that they've always been voting for, which is these crazy, whacked out Democrats. The Democrats of the day are not the Democrats of your grandfather. These Democrats today are communists and Marxists and socialists. They do not love you. They hate you. All you black people that's voting for them, they don't love you. Now, you may argue, well, the Republicans don't love you neither, but which would you take of the greater the evil? What you going to do? If you don't want to vote for the Republican, you certainly shouldn't be voting for these Democrats. The ones today, a lot of them, you certainly shouldn't be voting for them. Why? Let me ask you this question at the end of this video. Why is it that Walker is winning? He's not winning by a great margin, but the fact is he's winning. Now, why is that? I believe that his policies are more about what people are talking about, whether they're black or white. That's what I think that's what I think why he's far ahead. Well, not far ahead, but why he's ahead a few points. That's what I'm thinking. He's dealing with the real issues. People are not most people in this, most people don't care about abortion. As far as having the right to abortion is what I'm trying to say. Most people do not care about that. Okay? They don't care about whether or not they have the right to have an abortion. They don't care about whether or not they have the right to kill the baby. They, to kill their baby. First of all, the way I see it, you're being self-centered. Well, I just have to have the right to take to have an abortion when you know good and well that a significant number of women that get abortions is not getting abortions because of rape or they had sex with their Uncle Bobo down the street. That's not what it is. That's a small percentage compared to the number of women that get abortions out of inconvenience. They don't want the responsibility of the baby. They sit up here and have open sex, get pregnant, and don't want to have the responsibility of taking care of that baby. So what do? You just abort them. That's a small number compared to the vast majority of people in this country that care about the economy and care about crime and inflation. Come on, man. Those are the things the way I see it and the way a lot of Americans, I believe, are seeing it, is really affecting the masses of people. Not this other nonsense that these Democrats keep pushing. But we'll see what happens today. We will see what happens today. And we'll see if there's going to be a civil war. There'll be no civil war. If there'll be a civil war, it's going to be one caused by the radical, crazy, loony left. They're going to want to be the ones initiated because they would not be able to get over the fact that there was a red wave. They're not going to be able to deal with that. Just like when Trump got in office, before he got in office, they said, well, Trump's not going to win. He's not going to woo. All these talk show hosts and everybody talking about he's not going to be. There's no way he's going to win. Man won. And they couldn't deal with it. They cried like a baby. Cried like big babies. Couldn't deal with it. For 4 years, they cried like big babies till their tear ducts dried up. They're going to do the same thing if there's a red wave this time. They're going to cry like big babies and try to initiate, if there is a civil war, they're going to be the ones that is initiated. But that's what I had to say. What do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. God bless you all. See you again.